Right guys, Gaft is back with the explanation to torn, restored and torn again. But before I go any further, if anybody knows how you can split a paper American dollar bill, it is possible to split the two layers. If you could let me know in the comments or shoot me an email, that would be much appreciated. Somebody is desperate to know how to split American paper money. It is possible, but we need to find out how. So if anybody could help, that'd be awesome. Right, you're going to need a few things: a glue stick, some tape, a ruler, a knife, two of the same card, and unfortunately you are going to have to split a playing card. Now I'm not going to go into how to split playing cards because even though I've split a lot, I still find it a pain in the neck. There are loads of tutorials on YouTube on how to split playing cards. Go and search one of those out guys, because they'll be much better than me. So you're going to need two of the same card. In this case I've got lots of 8 of clubs, so I'm going to use two 8 of clubs, and you are going to split the paper off the back of one of the 8s. So I've already started this so I don't make a mess. So you're going to start to split the card, but you're not going to split it all the way, just about 2/3 of the way down, and then you're going to get a ruler and a sharp box cutter knife, and you're going to get the corner. This is the corner that's going to get folded, and you're going to score through the top layer of paper and the card below, but not through the bottom layer of paper. So just be careful you do not score all the way through. Once you've done that, you're going to continue peeling the card until you get to where your score is, and hopefully it should peel up that score line. So we're just going to keep peeling. And peel it all the way off. This piece can be discarded. So you should have a piece which looks, you've got paper here, and in the one corner you've got a piece of the 8 which is intact. What you're going to do now is get your other 8 and you're going to stick this over the top. You're going to stick all of this paper layer up to this point onto the back of this card. Now the easiest way I've found to make sure everything is squared up and lined up, because you do not want any of this paper showing on this side, is to get yourself, I always use this insulation tape. So I'm going to get a couple of pieces, place those aside for a minute, and I'm going to just line up where you've got this hard bit of a corner. You can square it up and then just tape it down. This will just keep everything squared and in position for when you stick it, because this needs to look like one card from both sides. Now if you take your time with this and you do a fantastic job, it is possible you can hand out this card at the end, depending on your spectator. Some spectators will just look at the card, handle it for a second and be blown away, not really examining it too much, whereas others will probably really examine the card. So the better you make this, the more chance you've got of actually being able to hand out this card. So you should be in this position now. This pretty much lines up perfectly. So we're going to fold this bit back and you're going to glue stick the whole back of the card, making special attention to all of the edges. So we're just going to glue stick this card. Special attention to the edges, because you don't want any bits not stuck. Like I say, you want to take your time with this guys. The better you can get this gimmick to look, the more chance you've got of actually being able to hand this out. And then you're going to get this, line it up perfectly and stick it down. making sure there's no air bubbles, air pockets. So from this side it looks like one card. Just special attention to these edges. Now I've just got this flat end of a ruler here. I'm just going to really hopefully push all the air bubbles out if there are any in there. So you'll be in this position. What you're going to do now is just get your tape off. Take your tape off. Now I saw David Blaine years ago do a trick with a dollar bill when he did this same effect. He tore the corner off and then he restored it, so I'm pretty sure this is how he did it. Now when you've stuck it, you'll probably have quite a bit of excess here. You want a glue stick right to this very edge of where you've cut. Don't know if you can see. So get your glue stick again and just make sure that the edge is done, and then just literally fold it down and push it till you get to that point where you cannot go any further. Really push it so that's tight. Now what I would do, I would leave it in this position and I would put this in a book, on the bookshelf, squeeze it into the shelf, put a lot of heavy books on it, and I would leave that overnight to make sure that glue really goes off hard. Because the harder the glue goes off, the better this will look and the more chance you've got of being able to hand this out. So you'll be in this position, you're going to go and place that in a book, put something really heavy on it, press it, making sure there's no exposed edges, and that is the gimmick built. So we can get rid of that. Obviously this is a one trick only time, you've got to rebuild this gimmick every time. Now this isn't going to look as clean because, like I say, you want to let the glue really go off strong. So when you've pressed this, you're going to fold this back over, and for all intents and purposes, at a quick glance, that looks like a playing card. You can see something here, but in the real world, your thumb's going to be covering this and no one's ever going to see it. And from the face, which is the bit they're going to sign, there is no evidence of any damage at all. So this is going to go back into your box. I have this flappy bit on the bottom, and you can just do a simple force. We're just going to call out stop for me as I riff it down the side right here. Just spin this card round and you can show the 8. This is where the corner is that was torn, or you're going to tear in a minute. So it's covered, no one's going to see it, and you can get them to sign this card. I know it's social distancing, so they don't necessarily need to sign it, and you don't necessarily need to use a box. Another thing I've got is a box with a fake bottom. So I can put something into the box from this angle, but in fact it's going down this fake bottom. That is just another part of a box stuck on the bottom, look. That's all that is, but with the cellophane covering it. So at some point you can get this piece and you're going to put it in the box, but in fact you're just going to push like this and it's going to drop behind the box and then close the box up. So the box can be on the table, best to have it this way around so they don't notice this bit. And they've signed, or they can see this card, and all you're going to do now is fold the card. You're going to turn it over and quickly fold over this end. Now this glue is already coming away, look, because it's not had a chance to go off. But as long as you let it dry, it will stay quite stiff. And you can just go through the motions of bending this. Be careful not to flash, there's 2 cards here, but in the real world, no one's going to see it. And at some point, you're going to bend the card, but you're just going to bend up the flap. The original part of the card will be hidden underneath. And you're just going to physically rip this piece off. You could get your spectator to tear this off. They can see you tearing the card off. In real terms, you're in this position. I'm going to place this into the box. I'm just going to put this into the box. They can see this going into the box. And then we're just going to get the corner. being careful that this sometimes wants to spring open. You're going to pick up this piece, the box will be like this to them, and you can drop it down your hidden flap. Close up the box, do any sort of magical gesture, reach back into the box, covering the corner, and you can just go through the process of restoring it however you like. Now that is the original card, that is the original corner. What you've got on this side, you've got this extra layer. You've got a bit of paper here, look. Now if you'd have let this glue really go off overnight, this layer would have probably been ripped off cleanly to where the cut line is. You wouldn't probably have this. So it would look like this when you finished. Obviously you folded the card so they can see the fold, but at some point you can just tear it again, can't you? You could tear that again. Now you could hand this piece out to them and the card, and as long as the glue had set, this corner piece here would not be there. It would look like a clean cut, and like I say, if you make a decent job of it, no one's ever going to know that this is another card stuck on the top. So that's how you do it, guys. It's just a little bit of arts and crafts, a little bit of time, but like I say, maybe make a couple of these, put them in a book and let the glue really go off. So comment, subscribe, like, guys, and come back tomorrow for, can't even get it out, another card trick. That is torn, restored and torn again. And if anyone knows how to split a dollar bill, that would be awesome. Cheers.